Are we keepers of fish or are we keepers of water? Now I'm going to go with the latter, that we're keepers of water. And on that premise, I have purchased a H2O D&D standard 4-pump doser, which I'm going to fit in today's video, so you can watch me fit that. I've also had to purchase the D&D bracket for the standard 4 dosing pump, which I'm going to fit into the cabinet. That was £12.99. The actual pump was £245. I've also got a kind of Reef dosing, what is it? Dosing holder, I'm guessing. We've got the D&D dosing lines, different colours, so I know which ones are going to go where. I've also got the TMC dosing containers, which are 1,500ml. So we're going to get those in the cupboard as well. So on today's video, we're going to fit it all up, get it up and running. I know we haven't got any livestock in there just yet, but with the livestock on its way very soon and corals on their way soon, I want to get it up and running. So I'm thinking alkalinity perhaps in one of them, calcium in another, and no pox maybe in the third if the nitrates and phosphates get a bit too high, but I haven't quite decided on those. But anyway, let's get fitting the H2O D&D 4-pump standard controller. So we're down here in the cupboard. The D&D controller for dosing is going to go on this side here. There we go, there's my controller there, and then the containers will go underneath. There's a little sticker from Backshift Reefer. Absolutely loving that, mate. That's an awesome sticker, thank you. So that's where the doser is going to go. In the bottom, all the test kits at the moment are all down there, and then there's my auto top off and fish food, with the potential of getting some fish very soon. There you can see in the cupboard. Nothing very exciting there. Right, let's get the back plate. Let's get the back plate fixed on to there, so then we can attach our D&D standard 4-pump doser. As I said, my D&D bracket didn't come with any fixings. I don't know if I've got a faulty one or if I should have got fixings, but anyway, I need 4 little screws that can go through each of those corners there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've gone through my odds and ends screw box. Everybody's got like an odds and ends screw box. Found 4 little screws, and they will go through nicely the gaps in the bracket and not go through the side of the cabinet, because they're not quite wide enough to go through the side of the cabinet, which is good. So let's get fixing on. We're going to make sure you use the spirit level, make sure it's nice and level, and get that bracket fitted. So we fixed the bracket on, got a bit of a sweat on it, got a bit of a dab on. 4 screws into there, it's nice and level. So what you should be able to do now is hang the D&D controller onto the bracket, and it hooks in, and there we go, ladies and gents. Wow, that looks pretty smart actually. Got access to the power, the reset button, network cables if I want to put it on network, and it's the same level as the power supply, so it looks pretty smart. Right, let's get fastening up all the dosing lines. I'm well impressed with that actually. So we're all attached in the cabinet. What else do we get in the box? So we get some D&D dosing clear line. We get a AC adapter with transformer, also with the UK and European connectors. We get some instructions about how to access the app, and we get a measuring cylinder. Oh, you actually get a dosing line holder, which I bought an extra one there for mine, and we also get the dosing line connectors to connect the pipes up. So let's get connecting. So the next step is going to be to use the connectors, which there are 8, 1 for each of the dosing pump lines. So we're just going to empty those out, and hopefully you're down in the cupboard at the moment, sorry, stop the camera. We're going to connect those into there. Just make sure it's, give them a little twist on so they're as secure as possible. So I'm just going to connect, hopefully you can see what I've just done there, these dosing line connectors onto the end of each one. That one goes on much further than the first one. Let's just try and get that one a bit further down. And there we go. So with a little bit of easing on, they will all go on. So I'm going to put the other 6 on to the lines. So like a typical bloke, I've got this far without using the instructions, so I'm going to download the DD Ocean H2O instructions and setup, which comes from the QR code on this little slip of paper. So let's get it downloaded. So we've run the cable through the back, where there's that gap, up along the back of the bracket and then into the 12 volt connector there. It looks really neat and tidy. So we're now going to go back to the app. We're going to click on the top right hand corner. It says connect device. We've got the non-pro edition. Connect through routers, connect device directly. Let's go for connect device via router. Have I connected the Wi-Fi? Make sure your Wi-Fi is connected. Okay. Make sure the device is plugged in and the green light indicator is on. Yeah, the green light indicator is on. Press reset on the side of the device. The indicator will flash. It is flashing. Yeah, we've got a red flashing light. So now it's asking me to put my Wi-Fi code in, which I will do, and then let's get back to see if it's connected. So we've got our red flashing Wi-Fi code, and then we've put our password in. Hopefully you didn't see that. And then we're going to click connect. EPS touching, configuring, please wait a moment. It was a little bit of a hassle actually. So my BT Home Hub is configured to 5 gigahertz. So I actually had to change my home broadband settings to 2.5 gigahertz. It wouldn't connect at 5 gigahertz. I don't know if this is because it's not the latest model. I know there's a Pro out and maybe that does. But I did have to change my Wi-Fi settings to 2.4 gigahertz for it to connect. So that's just something to bear in mind, a bit of a little fiddly bit. So now we've successfully connected to the app. We can click on the device, D&D, and it shows us now our bottles, which we need to configure, and it then allows you to set the amount of dosing per bottle. How good is that? So yeah, that's where we're up to at the moment. So the next thing I'm going to do is run the dosing lines from the back of the sump, connected to the dosing line holder, feed them down the back into the cabinet, and then through the gap at the back there, and then into the dosing line, and then out into the containers. Okay, so let's run the lines down the back from the rear of the sump down into the cabinet. So we're just going to secure our colourful dosing lines into the dosing rack. The red one is the last one to go in. Just slowly slack it off, make sure they're the same level, and then just nip it up just enough so that the dosing line is secure, but not too tight, not to let the fluids go through. They look really good. I like the colours of those. So I'm not going to cut the dosing lines. I'm going to keep them as they are in case I need to, I don't know, change tanks maybe in the future. So they're going to drop into the cabinet, just use a bit of gravity, take them back in, and then connect them into the cabinet. Okay, let's get them down to the cabinet. So we've got the dosing lines coming back into the cupboard. The one on the left is the outlet pipe, so that goes to the tank, and then the one on the right is the inlet. So that's a spare one at the moment. Whatever I want to add to that at some point, so that one's going to go there. So let's have a look at the TMC Easy Dose. So here it is. That's going to sit about there, and it comes with its own connection pipes. The TMC Easy Dose comes with its own connection pipes. You then push the pipe into the holder, and then you remove the blue clip, and then that locks it in place. So that's really nice and secure. It's a good peace of mind that you know that your dosing pipes aren't going to come out and leak everywhere. So what I'm going to do now is connect up the yellow one to here. I'm going to make it to length roughly. So we've got about here. So I'm just going to put this one. Oops. Cut this one. Nice square cut. So that's that one there, and that will connect in nicely onto the dosing rack with the connectors provided with a little wiggle. There we go. So all connected up. So that's the inlet, and the outlet goes up towards the back of the sump and the tank. Right, I'm going to connect the rest of the colours up and then I'll let you have a little look. So there we have it. All the dosing lines are connected. The inlet on the right hand side, and then the outlet going through the back, and then up to the sump. We've got our app on, we've got our red light off, which means it's connected to the Wi-Fi. We just need to calibrate the levels, but apart from that, all good. I'll show you at the top as well. Take you up here, and there you can see, relatively tidy down the back there. Use some little cable tidies, little cable wires. So all looking very good and ready for whenever we start to dose. So happy with that, so happy. As I say, down there, looks nice and neat on the bracket, all good to go. Yes, good result. So if you're still watching the video, we've managed to set up our H2O Ocean dosing pump. A perfect little job actually for COVID lockdown. There's not a great deal that you can do, but that was one job that I want to do, and gets it ready for when we put the corals in. Hopefully in the next few months we might then start dosing the tank, which will be you know, exciting times. So that job's done. I do need to do a little bit of calibration of the pumps, but apart from that it's all good to go, and I feel that that job's ticked off the list. The tank behind me, I don't know if you noticed, but it's never looked better parameter wise and water wise. I'll just give you a little bit of a closer look. There you go. I think the rock and the water looks pretty nice there. In terms of the parameters, let me just give you a little look. I did all the parameter tests yesterday with Red Sea and Hannah. So we've got temperature at 26.2, pH at 8.3, ammonia and nitrite 0. Yes, finally. Don't overdose ammonia, it takes forever to get out of your tank. Nitrates, a trace at 0.25. Phosphate is 0.15, a little bit high. Alkalinity 8.1. Calcium is 450. Magnesium is 1300, and then salinity is 1.024. So that is a healthy set of parameters. But in the comments, yeah, always give me your thoughts, see what you think. But what I'm thinking is Fish Saturday. That's what I'm thinking. We're out of isolation on Saturday. We want to go and collect our first fish. We talked about this back in March, and it's nearly December, so let's go and get the fish on Saturday. We're going to take you with us, so don't miss it. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss our Saturday video. Hopefully nothing's going to get in the way of this one, and we can go and show you around. I want to say a special thanks to every single one of you who follows the channel, who commented, who offered our support, your support, your caring messages. It means so much. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, from all my family who are now recovering. We really appreciate it, so special thanks to everybody. Sorry if I didn't reply to your comments and give you thumbs up and things. My head wasn't in the game for about 8 or 9 days, and it takes a while to recover. Slowly getting there. I'm still not 100%, but slowly getting there. But we will be fully fit hopefully very soon. But thank you very much for watching. You guys take care. Best wishes to all your family and friends, and stay safe. Thank you.